What's good, everyone? It's Steve from Sneaker Tech Talk, back with another video today. For today's video, we will be taking a look at the performance review of the Sirius Player Only Game 1 Low. Alright, so I have played around 13 hours in this shoe so far, and I've really enjoyed my time in the Game 1 Low from Sirius Player Only. In my opinion, this shoe is the total package, and I think this is going to be a shoe that when I'm looking for a lightweight or like ultra lightweight responsive basketball shoe that pretty much checks all the boxes, this is always going to be in my bag moving forward, because this just might be my new favorite basketball shoe from the brand. So I know that's a huge leap forward, because the Player One Plus for over 2 years has actually been my favorite basketball shoe to play in, but this one here might take the cake. So as always, starting with the traction pattern on this shoe right here, you do kind of have this tire tread inspired traction pattern, almost like a modified herringbone pattern. You have the 4AM logo kind of right here in the middle with these little lines. You get this black solid rubber outsole. The durability has been fantastic on this outsole. Really no wear and tear on any portion of this outsole, and that's really awesome in my opinion, because they did slash the weight of this outsole by 50% from their traditional outsole. That is really cool. Now, how it performs on clean floors is an absolute 10 out of 10. No issues at all. Now on dirty floors, as you can see, it does collect a little bit of dust here and there, but a quick wipe is all that you'll need. I never slid out, but there was a point where I could just tell they did have a lot of dust caked in the pattern, like you can see right here, but it did not affect the overall performance of this basketball shoe. One thing I will mention as well is there is no feedback, there's no squeak, there's pretty much no sound at all, which for me, I typically like a little bit of a sound with the traction pattern on my basketball shoes, but you're not going to get that here in this model. But that does not hamper the performance of this outsole. Whether you're making linear movements, lateral movements, you will be good to go in the Game 1 Low from the brand. And that's kind of the theme with the brand. They make shoes that have superior traction pattern to pretty much all other brands, and it's no different here with this model. And that's why these are going to score a very solid 9.5 out of 10. Now, as far as the cushioning goes on this model right here, you are getting an EVA style foam here on the midsole. It is very soft and it adds some really nice stepping comfort under your foot. It's a really lightweight EVA, and it just does a great job. It's just giving you a little bit more impact protection at the back of the shoe. It runs from basically right here all the way around the back, right here to the forefoot, and right here as well near the pinky toe. Now, as far as the cushioning goes, you know the brand has like 5 or 6 drop-in midsoles now, and they have saved their best for this model, at least in my opinion. For me, it was the explosive drop-in midsole previously, but the new Quick 2.0 is a much lighter weight drop-in midsole, and it just offers amazing comfort like the explosive in a more lightweight package. Not to mention, you also get this arch support plate right here, which is just another more firm foam compound, but it does a great job of offering a little bit of underfoot torsional rigidity and support under your arch, which is great. Everything else is just really plush and soft. You have a very close to the floor feeling up front, while the heel has a lot more impact protection. Just a great usage of a drop-in midsole. At the top of the liner, you have these little sticky pads right here for your socks. So I just really enjoy this setup, and it's one of, if not the best out right now across the board for a drop-in midsole setup, far superior to whatever Nike is doing in basically all of their setups with their React drop-in midsoles on the Zions and on the Kobe series. This is far superior in my opinion, and that's why the cushioning on this model right here, for me at least, and my play style, they're going to score an absolute 10 out of 10. I love the plush feeling at the back of the shoe, the court feel up front. It's not too thin to where it's like you're feeling like you're on the floor, but it's adequate across the board. And I think players 1 through 5 can easily play in this model and just enjoy the cushioning setup. So that's why they're going to score basically a perfect score for me. I really enjoy it. Sound off in the comments if you guys have tried the Quick 2.0 with this Game 1 low. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Now, as far as the fit goes, really quickly, it's a very snug and secure fit. I didn't have any heel slippage at all. I was a little bit concerned right off the bat because the tongue is like razor thin. You have some really nice padding at the back of the shoe. The tongue is thin, but you also have some padding running up the tongue. The tongue is also gusseted right here. It's a very snug and secure fit in a US size 11. Now, typically I am a 10.5 in Under Armour, Adidas, and Nike. With Serious Player Only, I've always gone up to a size 11, and my toe is right near the end of the shoe right here. So it's a very snug and secure fit. The toe pretty much has no extra volume on the top of it. So I really enjoy the fit of this hoop shoe, and I basically don't have any issues. I didn't have any hot spots at all playing in these. With the original Game 1 and Game 1 Mid, I did have a bit of a hot spot here on this plate, and it took a little bit of time to break in, but that was not the case on the low tops, and that's why they're going to score a very, very solid 9 out of 10 as far as the fit goes. Now, as far as the materials go, I'm going to get this out of the way right off the bat. These are not premium materials whatsoever. You're going to find these materials on a lot of basketball shoes that are like $100 to $130 from all the major brands. But what I will say is that the materials are ultra thin and insanely strong when you're making all of your hard cuts within this hoop shoe. So at the back of the shoe, you have a synthetic material right here. You kind of have this hologram like material with Jordan Kilgannon doing his scorpion dunk, which is what this shoe is kind of themed after. Other than that, you have this TPEE is what they're calling it. It's kind of like a heat fused material with a screen mesh with TPU strands running throughout it, but it's literally paper thin. It's very breathable. It's also very strong because it is backed with this black portion right here. That adds some structure and support within this model. So again, really nothing premium. You're getting a little bit of like a nubuck, synthetic nubuck at the top of the tongue, more synthetic materials running up the tongue, which are just very thin and breathable. So again, I really enjoy this setup, just the way they play and the way they break in very quickly, because the materials are just very pliable. But I will say they aren't premium, and that's why they're going to score a pretty solid 7.5 out of 10. Really nothing amazing, but they definitely get the job done. Now, as far as the support goes in this model, now typically with an ultra lightweight basketball shoe, you're not going to get a ton of support, or at least it's going to lack some support. Not with this shoe. You have an internal TPU heel counter, which does a great job of locking your foot in at the back of the shoe and just adding some really nice structure within the Game 1 low. Moving your way down from that, this TPU style fused upper offers a ton of support and just rigidity when you're making those hard lateral cuts. Also, with this plastic plate right here, you're seated housed within this midsole and this plate, and it just offers a lot of support on those hard lateral cuts. You also have this outrigger right here, which is there to prevent your foot from teetering over. I never felt like I was going to teeter over in this shoe. I played around 7 hours on court in games, and the rest of the time was kind of just getting reps up. I never had any issues where I kind of felt tippy within this hoop shoe. You also have a wide and stable base, this plastic TPU shank plate right here, which offers great torsional rigidity and support. And then you have these two stabilizer straps right here, these eyelets that do run down into the floor bed right here. So when you really crank the laces down, it really harnesses your foot in nicely and adds some more support on the lateral and on the medial side of the shoe. Not to mention, you're also seated housed within the midsole. It kind of hugs up on the side of your foot. So all of these things do a great job of just giving you a very supportive, complete package within this model. And that's why for me, this shoe scores a very solid 9 out of 10 as far as the support goes. Now, as far as the weight goes for this basketball shoe right here, again, this is hands down my lightest basketball shoe that I currently own. And they come in at 11.45 ounces. These are under 10 ounces when the drop-in midsole is out of them. So keep that in mind. I know the Li Ning Gammas are very lightweight as well. I don't own those, as those are very hard to get in Canada, but the Game 1 Low is hands down my lightest basketball shoe, and I'm really enjoying them thus far. So that's going to do it for today's performance review on the Game 1 Low from Serious Player Only. An absolute beast on court, and I think a ton of people are going to love what the brand is offering with the traction, the cushioning, the support, and the fit. Again, the materials are pretty cheap, but they get the job done and they just really break in super quickly. And that's one of the biggest things I like about this shoe is I put them on and I was able to get on court and just hoop. So sound off in the comments what you guys think of these right here. I'm stoked to continue playing in them, and I'm very excited to see what they do next. But that's going to do it for today's performance review on this model. As always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that would definitely help the channel a ton. And check out my Instagram over at Sneaker Tech Talk, as it is an extension of my YouTube channel with all my pickups, basketball footage, and nostalgia as a whole. As always, thanks for watching today's video,